The okay. She said that all militarily. Hottentot. This is not a good subject for people, huh? It's a racial
Hottentot.
term. Okay. So, Korra, right? Aang, last firebender, last of the airbenders, right? Right? In the continuation, they call it the what? Korra. So then Hottentots preparing to remove. So, what? What are they showing us here? Okay. They're showing us Asians. They're showing us Asian people here. This is some idiot shit. Ah, so here is a picture, early 19th century caricature by George Kruishik showing settlers being attacked by cannibal Hottentots. Right? As you can see, they have dark skin and the settlers have light skin. Wow. Is this what they're drawing of what what area? I'm very curious. See, because they're writing it off in the 19th century as they're settlers. I wonder what area, because that's what was happening in America at the time. That's almost to say Hottentot cannibals were running around the Americas at the time. So let's try to understand these pictures are. All right, so Hottentot is a term that was historically used by Europeans to refer to the co coco something like that. They're grouped with the hunter-gatherer San peoples with designation Koiko, kind of like the Coleco, uh, and Atari, right? Activision is actually a care or praise address, not an ethnic endonym, but it has been used in, I don't know what the hell it is. They are indigenous, nomadic, pastoralists in South Africa. So this is where you have to ask yourself, who's telling the truth? Remember, there's nothing special about Wikipedia. It's a compilation, okay? Different modern people have the authority to, to, to alter it positively or negatively, and we don't know until we compare it with other things. So just keep that in mind. And also keep in mind, if it's 1980 and they're publicly lying in 1980, and 40 years later we know the truth about the situation, and it's still going to be recorded as it was at its modern time. It was referred, the lie was referred to as the truth. I know that sounds kind of complicated, but I'm not the one that's complicating things. I'm the one with the ironing board that's trying to iron some stuff out. So the natural inhabitants, you and me, understand that as indigenous. So to say that the Hottentots are now indigenous to South Africa, remember, other encyclopedias are going to say the exact same thing. The use of the term is now considered offensive. The preferred name for the non-Bantu speaking indigenous people of the Western Cape area. So they took them from Cape of Good Hope, Siam, and put them on the Western Cape of Africa. So here's a area being the Kioki or something. Ki, Cahoki. You got the Cahoki Indians here in the fucking So because we know the Cahokia Indians here have that name, they can't be sharing the same name. So we know this is a fake name. See how easy this gets? It's actually entertaining too, right? Like hoi, 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 keho, ho, Cahokia Mounds. Etymology. Who do you think they're fucking enslaved them now? Right now, all of a sudden, Hottentot originated amongst the old Dutch. Hey, see, this is what this motherfucker is trying to say. The term Judea, the term of these people being called Judea, originated with the old Dutch. You sound, Negro, you sound like the Wikipedia writers. You fake ass mother. Your ass so false. Oh shit. Oh man, Calgon, take this motherfucker away. Look, oh, the old Dutch slapped a label on their ass. Hot tent, ho tent, hot tent. Hmm? What is the tent? The tent. Can you read to me from the 10th commandments? You motherfuckers. I caught your ass. Wait, with the keyboard out. The United East India Company. You mean these Dutch and there's a United United States? No, brothers, we must change that to the United States. Ah, and then they actively committed. If I say it, I got my comment struck because I called somebody a sodomite in a negative way. They were like, "Yank, your comment can't stay," and I was like, "Wow, that was fast." I was like, "Wow." So Freemasons, okay, great, good for them. And here's old Stuart, right? Martha's Vineyard. United and then the Don't Touch My Moors, said Queen Charlotte. So they named the city after Charlotte, North Carolina. And then we learned from old Ben that the king of Portugal, the modern king of the Portuguese people of old, we should say, right? Is it come back and work? To old son of a bitch. I'll just use this. The old Dutch, right? So that's how they playing it. That's the Negro Dutch. They playing these little word games here and there. But see, at least they playing it. See, they didn't even just say the Dutch. Come on, man. Slam this shit. Body slam this shit. I'm gonna attract a wrestler and be like, somebody wanted to fight. So the Dutch settlers of the colony, right, run by the United East India Company, the VOC alcohol stamp, and showing you they're still up and running today. Their descendants still taking that money from what? Tax money. That sweet tax money they just pour into to to, to the military complex and to NASA, to their own pockets. They gotta have fat pockets. Carry all that money. Because they've been operating hundreds of years. What's the oldest active company? See, this is the territory that took Steve Coakley's life, and it entered English usage from Dutch in the 17th century. However, no, you got to understand that however you get paid, they figure that you have no fucking use and no value. because of how you spend your time. And they were like, we want you to sit on this guy every broadcast. You were supposed to call them ages ago. We were probably not supposed to get this far. You failed, you know that, right? Did they neglect to tell you what was happening with everything? Are you are you understanding more, but you have orders to fulfill? I can understand that, man. I ain't mad at you. I just, you know, all I can do is put on a mask and look at you all silly and say, you gotta do better. Go to hell, bro. Oh, y'all going to burn in the river, boy. Oh, it's hot out here. Oh, okay. So all this stuff is just, I don't feel like doing this. Man, just skip over here and just say, okay, tell me about the Hottentot image wise. So, the Hottentot Venus and all this shit, right? So, we've heard some of this before. The lady with the giant caboose became an attraction. I think she even passed away and they took her carcass. I'm not sure if I'm just adding to the story or if that's how it was. There you go. Mary Evans Saarte. 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 Something like that. So then we go, watch this. So they wanted to try to say it's the non-Bantu, but they didn't want to tell us who they were. So when you say Hottentot Venus meaning, right, it'll tell you right here that where is that? Hottentot Venus woman, freak show attraction, a Dutch colonial term for the indigenous Kyoku people of southwestern Africa. Now remember, they wasn't from southwestern Africa; they was from Asia. Now I'll prove it to you. And reference to the Roman gods' fertility, right? So see, this is the game that they playing. They got all these people who stayed or were pushed into a tribal state, and they gathered them, and then they moved them into African captivity. Now, let me see. Now we got that part of her story. Now, and then, give me a second. Oh, I messed up. My bad. I didn't go far enough down. Sorry. Let's go back. We gotta go back. Back to etymology, the VOC. And I got too excited because it's funny how it all connects, right? It even connects to the James, King James, LeBron James. All right, so, however, no definitive Dutch etymology for the term is known. Now, look, it's going to scroll down. Angelica in the Dutch form of hot knot was also South African English as a derogatory term for black people, including Cape. You see South Africa, right? They call it Cape Coloreds, right? All right. So look, used in the ethnic term, Hottentot is sometimes used to denote all black people, synonymous with Kaffir. So Kaffir is synonymous with nigger. All right. So states, which was at times likewise, and again, what we're being told about the word nigger is not true. If anybody want to pay the money, here go to Oxford English Dictionary. Anybody that was a slave of the Indians was called nigger. Now, if you think about who was slave to the Indians, and they're telling us that the white people were slaves and the black people were slaves, and then you got the term Negro was given in Europe from the Moors to the Negroes who happen to be the Judeans brought in from the African slave trade because King Alfonso asked for them. When they helped defeat the Moors, they were given the title Negro. So then you have the title Negro, and then you have the title Nigger, which seem to be the slave owner and then the slave. But people aren't going to see it like that because what they've been taught. And again, I don't have evidence of this. It seems pretty obvious at this point, based on this. This is I think why they put it's a dictionary. Why they put a surcharge on it? You can't tell me they need that much money. They got to put surcharges on shit. You know, they're not a dying newspaper and shit, right? Like that's the Oxford Dictionary. Every year they have students there that need to buy their books. Oh boy. So here we go. Maybe I should move that over a little bit because that's not giving me too much action to the scroll bar. Right back to racial hate coffers, right? The non-Bantu Cape blacks or the Cape coloreds, and the Bantu was noted as early as the 1684 by the French anthropologist, blah, 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 blah. So, in the idea that Hottentot referred to the non-Bantu. Okay, so let's go further. It says, here's where we get to pick up the ball and run it. However, Hottentot has also continued to be used through the 18th and 19th century, 20th centuries, in a wider sense to include all of the people who now usually referred to with the modern Khoisan, not only the Khoi, but you can hear how Asiatic that sounds. Also, but also the Sand people. So again, the Hottentot, who are the natural inhabitants of the Cape of Good Hope in Siam, have been moved to Africa and have been put in the damn, I lost it that fast. In the put on the southern Cape of Africa, which they call again they racially call the Cape of Colors or the Cape of Blacks, you know. So and then the map pops up. My scroll button is broke. My scroll slide is broke. Scroll, whatever. So I can't do the pictures like I used to. Like I can't scroll down and read. So these are the Khoisan people. These are the original people, natural Thailand, Siam. That's the Siamese. That's where you get the Siamese twins. I didn't lie to anybody. I just didn't have a name until I just scrolled through the book and understand. All I did was scroll through the book. It's not like I had to spend 2 weeks reading this book. Come on, man. This shit is sitting on the edge of the shelf waiting to fall in anybody's lap. But don't you see? If this dude in the basement can find this stuff, all these mega YouTube researchers can't find any of this stuff, then you have to ask, are they all in on it? What's the word say? You gotta understand, even if they look like you, they could be in on it. How do we know other people aren't named after these cities? Because we don't know the names of these cities. So it tells us it's the Khoisan people, right? Or Khoisan, right? A group of indigenous peoples of South Africa. So you see everything keep on saying South Africa. They's always been in Africa. They indigenous to Africa. So do you think that, let's say, they've been forced into Africa, and because they don't speak this language or this language, they have their own language. That's the first thing they said, right? Non-Bantu languages. So they can't go and apply for a job here or there because they might watch and understand what's going on, but they can't communicate with nobody because they communicate with fucking clicks. Right? Distinctive click consonants in their language. When you're trying to make fun of an African going, that's who you're actually making fun of. Siamese people taken from Siam, put into Africa, and then forced into a situation where they're living off the land, just like they were. That this book says they are what? Remember, this book is from the 1600s. It doesn't matter what these modern motherfuckers say. So this book was written before what? I told you the Burmese War that was important was in the 1700s because right at the top it said deportation. So, shit, I think I still got it on screen. It's one of these. I'll click all day. 1500, 1765. It's just off screen for me. Depopulation. See what's going on here? He did not get it from no Caucasian person. Okay? A Caucasian person got it from his type family. Okay? These people are the real Europeans, like I've already said. Now, this man's situation might be different, but I don't think so, especially when we go into the images of the Dutch peoples. These images paint a completely different story. And not willing to sit here and listen to a bunch of bullshit talk me out of the truth stuff. I'm not in the mood for it. I think I'm well beyond that. I think a lot of us are well beyond that. So back to the Khoisan people, and so I look up Khoisan, and they say, don't forget the Sand people. Well, thank you, because it says over here when you look up the people, they are not only the Khoisan, because I was being kind of lazy, I didn't quite look up the Sand people yet, but it says, but also the Sand people who live in a state of hunter-gatherer populations. Well, man, they got fucking empires and nations and emperors at the time, and you're telling me these people are still in a hunter-gatherer state? They didn't see anybody. They don't smell people cooking from different areas. They don't see how other people are. Use this with the soil. Dig here and look for mines. They don't see any of this. They got no sense of progress in their mind, or are they kept from doing that to hold the secret? And you see here is right the other end, Bushman. Here's another once referred to as the Bojin Manaman. Now this word looks like bougie. So we'll take what we got so far. We're not going to chase the bougie part. So this coughs up to us the Koshan and the San and the Kahoho, the Kahokiho. And again, that oops, I clicked on that by accident. Again, that matches the Cahokian mounds by name. Now see, we now know in 1600 they knew exactly who they were, and it's just magical that when we get to another page with Negroes on it, the image is scrubbed. All the words, even the diagram of the Dutch factory city is perfect. But when it get to the image of the Negroes, who are the indigenous, somebody done scrubbed it out. I'm sorry, I gotta keep slamming this. Get it to work. I don't know why it does it. It's old, and a new one costs like well over $50. I don't know if it's well worth that. I just like the I forgot what it's called, the trackball. I like rubbing my thumb on the trackball to get my mouse to move. It gets me the cheese. That wasn't even funny, my bad. So, what do we have here? We have Afro people that look Asiatic. Now, what happens when we intermix with the Asians? Or what if this is we have natural looks towards this too? What if we don't? Again, we're very intermixed and we just don't realize it. And we've mixed with the darker races, which have unionized a lot of the features, And I'm not saying anything wrong with that. I'm just saying you can see these people as all, you know, same colors as most of us. Not that much change. But I would guess that these people mixed more so with the Asians since they, kind of look Asiatic. And so think about this, this has been in this book this whole time. This guy's sitting here trying to say, no, only the Dutch called this place Siam. Then we go and find just under the picture that says, oh, the Dutch set up factories to strip something out of this place, right? That's what they got for their participation in the destruction. Again, Europe is the one that called himself Rome, and Dutch is in Europe. So Rome is Edom, and so we start.
One. Today we will talk about something that has been swept under the table, something that is untold to either the people of South Africa or the people of the world. Let me start by the first one, that from the 30th of November 2018, the KhoiSan delegation has been, whatever you want to call it, camping, protesting, making their voices heard at the Union Building, where they have given the government, the president, 4 issues that up until today.
Right now, you can get Disney Plus and Hulu for just $2.99 a month. A price so low, you'll want.
Has not been listened to, has not got any engagement whatsoever. The government are simply silent. The 4 issues are: first one, recognition as the first nation of South Africa. Second one is the language on the coat of arms to be official. Third one is return of ancestral land, and the fourth one is removal of the colored wood. Now, who are these Khoisan people? Who are the First Nation? Who are those people that have been camping, protesting for almost 5 years at the Union Building? Well, these people are descendants from the first people that have been in South Africa, which have been called various names: Sarwa, Basarwa, Hottentot, Bushman, Kwe, Kung, Nama, Korana, Griqua. All these names have been called, these people have been called. Now, when we, as the first people, as the natives, as the Aboriginal people, when we have been alone here in South Africa, lots of the history, when they talk about us, they said we are nomadic people, we moved around. Then they tell us that we've been hunters. Now, what they didn't tell you is when the people came here and they saw us, they told the ones that is back in Europe and others abroad, they told them that these people are not human beings. These people are closer to animals. These people are cannibals. These people do not have a soul. They are soulless. They do not pray to God. All these nasty things have been told about these people only because they wanted the land, not to animals. These people are cannibals.
Start. Let's bro. The just net in money that reads of the Dutch peoples. These in carcass. I'm not sure if I'm just adding to the story or if that's how it was. There you go. Mary Ed. Last of the Airbenders, right? Right. Okay. What is here is a picture. Early 19th century caricature. Settlers being attacked by cannibal Hottentots. Right? Showing settlers being attacked by cannibal Hottentots. Showing settlers being attacked by cannibal Hottentots. Right?
These people, others abroad, they told them that these people are not human beings. These people are closer to animals. These people are cannibals. These people do not have a soul. They are soulless. They do not pray to God. All these nasty things have been told about these people only because they wanted the land. Now, for the First Nation of South Africa, lots of stories has been told that the First Nation have been given their land away for a mirror. When they saw themselves in a mirror, they then gave the people land, they gave the people cattle. What a bunch of nonsense. We have seen ourselves long before the colonists came here. When we were going down into the dams or the rivers trying to get water, we saw our reflection in the water. These people, they came only here to destroy us. For now, I will not give the identity of these people.
Right? As you can see, they have dark skin and the Southern Hot. What area is going to be recorded? Remember, there's nothing special about Wikipedia. Okay? So the natural inhabitants, you and me understand that as indigenous. So to say that the Hottentots are now indigenous to South Africa, remember other encyclopedias are going to say the exact Siam Indians here. The fuck is that old Dutch? Hey, see, this is what this motherfucker is trying. Etymology. Who do you think they get away? Oh, the India Company. So, settlers of the colony, right? Run by the United East India Company. The VOC alcohol stamp and showing you they're still up and running today. Their descendants still taking that money from what money they just to the territory took. You understand that however you get paid, okay, mask. You know, all I can do is put on a mask. I'm like English as a derogatory term, pretty obvious at this point. Based on this is I think why they put it's a dictionary. Why they put it seems here we go. Maybe I should move that over a little bit because also this, but let's say 70. Not only the Khoisan, because I was being kind of lazy. This with the soil. Dig here if you look for mines. They don't. Uh, uh.
I'll just call these people. They came only here to destroy us.
Depopulation.
For only here to destroy us. For now, I will not
Depopulation.
destroy us.
See what's going on here? 65. It's just off screen for me. Depopulation.
For now, I will not give the identity of these people. I will just call them colonists for now. Now, these colonists came and they saw these beautiful nature, land with so much potential. Some came for trading, others came to make the Cape Point as a refreshment station. But because they saw the beautiful land and they saw us, they thought we are stupid when they gave us something like tobacco and we gave them animals. For us, because of people of nature, we have always been trading, even trading with nature. When we are hunting and we shoot the animal, before the animal goes down, we are bowing to the animal as God's creation and apologizing to the animal, saying that we are sorry that we had to kill it, but if not, our families would die. Then we would take a strain of our hair and drop it where the animal dies. For us, it means we have taken from nature and we put back to nature. It's the same thing that we do when we take medicine. We do not just take medicine from nature. We see nature as very important. Nature is us. We are nature. So when these people came, the colonists came, there's a lot of brutality that they inflicted on us. For today, I will only talk about one of them. And later on, every Friday, I'll be talking more about the others, maybe going a little bit in depth. Now imagine these people came here and they saw us and we speak a language to them which is unknown, greeting them. In their books they said we sound like turkeys. So they needed to do something in order for us to speak to them so that they can understand. So that is what we're going to talk to you today about. Because they didn't understand.
Would seem to be, and then to their own pockets. They gotta have a giant, and again, communicate with, he said, uh, so, distinctive click consonants in their language. When you're trying to make fun of an African going, that's who you're actually making fun of. Siamese people taken from Siam, put into Africa, and then forced into a situation where they're living off the land, just like they were. That this book says they are what? Remember, this book is from the 1600s. It doesn't matter what these modern motherfuckers say. So this report was in the 1700s because so shit, I think I still got it on screen. 17.
Understand, they wrote laws forcing our people not to speak our native tongue, our mother tongue. It is sad because even up until now, some of our people, when you are asking them to speak their mother tongue, they are afraid because it reminds them what has happened to them. Now, these people, whatever they did to us, they didn't see it as something that they need to worry about. Because in their books, when they wrote about us, they said these people are closer to animals. So they would force us, and what they would be doing is, if a woman starts speaking the mother tongue, they would cut her breast off. If a male starts speaking the mother tongue, they would cut his testicle off. They even simply go as cutting your tongue out, ripping the top teeth so that you cannot form cliques. They made sure that our people do not speak our mother tongue. They even hang us, buried us alive. This is just a beginning of the brutality that they have inflicted on us. Join me every Friday where I will unravel more of why these people have been doing this and why are we, the First Nation of South Africa, why are we today in a position where everyone have got everything, and we as the native people, as the Aboriginal people, only seeking justice, only seeking what belongs to us. Nonkia.
Tried the double sonic smasher and had a half